Good morning, Santa Clarita. Happy Friday. It's a spooky, spooky Friday. It is Halloween, and, the whole station here is all decked out for Halloween. The KHTS, that's right, you are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM, by the way. And the KHTS Facebook page is all decked out for Halloween. You know what? If you'd like to head over to the Facebook page, you can catch us live now. We're on Facebook Live, as well as 98.1 and 1220 AM. This here is SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley. I am your host, Matt Watson, and y'all know our show. We are Eye on the Valley. We are brought to you by SCVi and iLead Schools, a network of charter schools with campuses in Castaic, Agua Dulce, Lancaster. We've got a fully accredited online school. We've got a home study program that is just absolutely blowing up. I was down at our Orange County facility yesterday playing with our homeschoolers, and they are just having an amazing time. They get to come into campus from time to time as they as they desire. We keep things very, very flexible, very hybrid, if you will. So yeah, whether it's homeschool or online school, or classroom-based, or anywhere in between, we've got a setting that is perfect for whatever your kid needs. Check us out at iLeadSchools.org. That is iLeadSchools.org. And remember, friends, we are a free public charter school. So yeah, while we get to operate sort of like a private school, we are funded like a public school. So we like to say that it is that private school experience at the public school price. Free 99. So that's iLeadSchools.org. Once you head over there, you know what? You can toggle from the Facebook page for KHTS. You can watch us and toggle over to our website. Check out our schools while you're listening to our amazing show. We've got a great one for you today. Coming up in hour number one in just a moment, we've got Danyelle Sanders and Stacy Gunderson. Stacy is the executive director with Animal Track's Immersive Animal Sanctuary, and Danyelle is an Animal Tracks ambassador and someone who is quickly becoming my BFF. If you're a regular listener to the show, you might remember Danyelle was on just a few weeks ago talking about a Circle of Hope event that actually went swimmingly. And
I whooped your butt in trivia.
You did, which is why you're on the first hour this week and not the second hour, because we'll be having none of that this week. But, so yeah, that's coming up here in hour number one. We'll talk to them in just a moment. And then in hour number two, we've got Laura Kazan. She's absolutely amazing, and she could make probably 5 times the money that we pay her if she went into private practice on her own as a high school counselor. That is big business out there. Honestly, because a lot of college-going kids don't feel that, they're getting the support that they need at school, and so they pay. I know my brother paid upwards of $3,000, $3,500 for a private counselor for her kids or for his kids. And Laura is doing it for our kids here at iLead Exploration. That's the home study program I was telling you about. And she's just doing amazing things with our high schoolers, getting them into some of the most prestigious and exciting colleges in the country. And then, we're going to wrap the show like we always do with my train wreck of a big brother. He calls in with trivia and jokes and fun facts. And this week we will not be featuring Danyelle, so I'm hoping to retake the crown. We call it Big T's 5 Minutes of Fame, and it's lots of fun. But jam-packed show, going to be a ton of fun, so let's go ahead and get it started. As I said, my first guests this morning are with Animal Track's Immersive Animal Sanctuary. Did you know we had one of those in town?
Yeah. I do. I know that.
Yes. It's an animal sanctuary, so they've got all kinds of amazing and cute, cuddly furries, and it's immersive because you can go play with them. They got dozens of some of the most exotic and cute animals in the world. They're located just up the road from where we are right now in downtown New Hall. They are in Agua Dulce. Stacy Gunderson is their executive director. Stacy is a graduate of Moorpark College's Exotic Training and Management program in 1999. With over 30 years of experience, she's a seasoned naturalist and animal behaviorist, drawing from her extensive background in movie animal training. And Danyelle Sanders is a supporter of Animal Tracks, who is coordinating supporting their upcoming gala. We'll find out what role she's actually playing here in just a minute. Danyelle is an amazing young leader who is filled with a contagious energy and passion to support her community. Her journey has taken her from collaborating with Bruno Mars and Michael Jackson to working on events like the LA Marathon and Monster Jam.
Monster Jam.
Stacy, Danyelle, welcome to Eye on the Valley.
Hi, Matt.
Thanks for having us.
Thank
I gotta jump in. It is not a petting zoo. As cuddly and as cute and as amazing as our wild exotic animals are at animal tracks, I would not cuddle with them.
Okay.
That says how smart you are.
Thank you. But Stacy could jump in and tell us more about that.
Well, so yeah, I want to learn all about it because while our kids from several of our iLead schools have been to the tip animal tracks, I'm not as familiar. So first of all, why don't you tell us about Animal Tracks? What is your mission? What's your vision? What do y'all do?
Absolutely, Matt. Thank you so much for having us. We love iLead schools. My kids went there. We do shows for iLead. We actually got a Gluck grant, so we can do free shows for iLead schools. So
Yay,
call us.
just another one of the
set
great
it
things
up.
you get for free with our amazing schools.
Yeah.
Free!
We wild education is the best kind of education, right? It's what kids respond well to.
Well, we've got free-range children up there at iLead Agua Dulce. We do. I've seen the sign.
So we're a 501c3 nonprofit that takes in exotic animals that need a forever home for a variety of reasons. Sometimes it's injured wildlife, it's confiscations, it's pet trade. Oh. How many times have you gone to Vegas and said, maybe we could have a monkey. Maybe we could.
Sure.
And those are the people that wind up going, a monkey's a bad choice. Can you take this monkey? And so I currently have 15 monkeys that come from that. Monkeys are not like dogs or cats. We want you to go clean out the world's animal shelters and leave monkeys in the wild. Do you know the most important reason you should? A monkey has a magical butt. Their job is to grow the world's rainforest through poop. And you don't need poop in your house, right?
No.
Could you imagine growing some big rubber trees in your living room because the monkey pooped on your carpet? It's a picture, is it not?
It is. And I learned that I have something in common with monkeys.
If you were brave enough to poop on your floor, you could grow that sort of thing as well.
The magical butt part.
We could all be seed spreaders. But anyways, Animal Tracks is a magical. It's a journey around the world with these animals from all over the place, except for the two poles. And it's going to talk about their superpowers for humanity. Wolves are the protectors of trees. Did you know that?
I did not know that. How do they protect trees?
Well, they are going to eat the elk and caribou and mule deer, and they're going to save the tree, and then the beaver's going to come and he's going to eat those trees and make ponds, and they are going to bioengineer Yellowstone effortlessly. So if we get rid of wolves, we lose the first step of bioengineering Yellowstone.
Wow. Gosh.
That's just a taste, you guys. That is just a little sliver of what you get at Animal Tracks.
Oh, that is absolutely amazing. So, again, not everybody knows that y'all are here. So can you tell our listeners kind of where you're located, how long you've been open? Tell us a little bit about your history.
I would love to. Yeah, everybody says we're a big secret. We've been here since 2008. It's actually in my home, which is Monty, Montana, the famous cowboy's old home. It's his first home. And we are located a quarter of a mile from the beautiful Vasquez Rocks. Okay. So we talk about you can come and see the animals, and then you can go look for treasure in the rocks, and then you can either go wine tasting or go have a beautiful lunch in our little western town.
I love it. And yeah, there's a couple wineries right there in town. What an amazing day that would be. And there was some students, I understand, that pretty recently found some treasure there in Vasquez Rocks.
Really?
Animal related. They found a fossilized footprint that was several million years old. Yeah.
Not a dog, but like
a canine
the OG
critter.
dog.
Yes,
yeah.
The OG dog. Yeah. So Danyelle, tell us about your journey with Animal Tracks. How did you discover this organization and what made you want to get involved?
Well, it was through a friend of mine. Her name's Stacy Graywell, and she is a volunteer. And that volunteering at Animal Tracks is actually something that many of our residents here in Santa Clarita can do, and we urge them to help us out. We take all kinds of volunteering. There's so much that can be done. So Christy's the one that really introduced me to everybody. And the second that I met Stacy and her amazing crew over at Animal Tracks, I absolutely fell in love with their mission, with their own wild hearts that they have, and it's truly a labor of love. And you can tell they're not getting rich over there doing this. You know what I'm saying? This is truly an educational and they believe in their mission of trying to end the illegal wildlife trade through education and through conservation and rehabilitation. I mean, they when they take on an animal, it's not like, oh, we have a new dog in the house. No, it is we have a kind of traumatized creature here with PTSD. Yeah. Like the illegal animal trade is the fourth largest crime in the world. World. Yeah, and it leads to, I think it was like a $20-30 billion, with a B, billion-dollar industry. So it's not just monkeys, but it's snakes. It's any kind of wild animal being taken out of its
habitat.
Thank you. Those are the
go.
words. It's a Friday. It's
I
hard.
have the best
Words are
words.
hard
Good
on
one,
a
Matt.
Friday. Thank you. But taking them out of their home and bringing them, a lot of them don't even survive the trip.
Well, it's been a couple years, but I read a stat that I'm going to misquote, but I love misquoting stats.
Let's do it.
But it was something like in illegal animal trafficking, it takes something like 5 or 6 monkeys being removed from their habitat for that illegal, what do you call them, dealer, seller, to sell one,
Yeah.
meaning,
Because
the
the others don't make
overwhelming
it.
percentage of them die
Yeah.
in transport. So it's, very, very tragic. But the ones that do survive and make it to you, I can imagine are quite traumatized.
Well, can we talk about that for a second?
Yeah, please.
So you're going to get a baby monkey that was horribly traumatized, and for 3 years, that monkey's going to be like a child. You're going to diaper it, love it, maybe sleeps in bed with you, you bottle feed it, and then it's going to have its 3rd birthday, and on its 3rd birthday, it becomes an adult. And now it becomes part of a very volatile, aggressive society. And so teeth, when people show teeth, only as strangers, teeth are bad. And so let's just say a neighbor child comes over to hang out with your kids, and they smile at the monkey. Well, you just pulled a weapon. The monkey gets very upset, doesn't like this child. Now the child gets a little nervous and they giggle. That's really, really not good to do to a monkey. Laughing at a monkey is very offensive.
Yeah,
And so the
laughing
two
at
things,
Frogger is
you
offensive
get
too.
small, you say, it's okay, monkey. Getting small is the strike number 3. And so when that child comes in and starts to run around, the monkey has to go beat up that child because that child shouldn't be here. That will happen 100% of the time. So you'll be in a lawsuit.
Okay, so
You'll-
this isn't like this is one of those things that could happen that you see on the news once every 5 or 6 years. This is going to happen if you bring a monkey into your home.
It happens on a smaller scale always. So what happens is some human is going to mess up, and your monkey is going to discipline them like a monkey would discipline another monkey, and that's when trouble starts.
Yikes. Thank you for not bringing the monkeys.
But it's more, the monkeys are they're wonderful creatures. They are.
So important to our world.
I can't say that they're tame because they are wild, but they are wonderful creatures. At Animal Tracks, they get to choose what they want to do. So it's not a show. You don't come to Animal Tracks and catch a monkey show. That is not
Okay.
happening. No, they are not performers. Okay.
All right.
They are residents, and you're coming to their home. And with that said, like when you have a guest that comes to your house, some people are well mannered, and you're like, oh, I like this kid, and some people are not, and they're like, I don't like that kid.
It's like Jumanji.
A little
Okay.
bit, a little bit. But more than just monkeys, Animal Tracks has over 70 different animals. So yeah, we do have a lot of monkeys, but what other animals do we have there?
We have wolf hybrids, which are actually more dangerous than a wolf. So a wolf hybrid is where a human actually takes a wolf and breeds it with a dog to make
Okay.
it safe, which is untrue.
To make it safe.
Because
Okay.
now it looks like your Siberian Husky and it responds like a wolf, makes it very dangerous. Most of them, about 100,000, are put to sleep every year. Same reason. Somebody comes up and treats them like a dog and they bite, and so they're euthanized. So literally, we want regular domestic animals as your pet and wild animals wild. We have kangaroos, we have skunks, we have possums, we have giant African porcupines, we have marmosets, all the things you can go to Vegas and go into a pet store and buy, and then people decide within about 2 months this is too much, and they're looking for a place to place it.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
want to
and
educate you before you
Imagine
go
how
to Vegas.
devastating that's going to be. Now we're not talking the level of a monkey beating up the neighbor kid, but how sad for your family, right? They get so excited about this new pet and how exotic and how rare, and we love this animal, and then it's got to go.
Well, Matt, you like statistics?
I do.
An exotic animal lasts in someone's home about 2 years, whether it's a monkey, a wolf, or a bird. And birds can live 80 years, so they're going to have 40 homes on average in their lifetime. And a good portion of those homes won't be good homes.
And this
Yikes.
is the focus of Animal Tracks, is the whole life cycle of rescue, from rehabilitation to long life sanctuary care. For these animals, they can't return back to the wild, obviously. So public education, conservation, that is exactly what we're doing. We're not trying to scare you guys into saying, don't come here because there's wild animals. No, come here, see the wild animals, see them up close, see them without borders, and really learn what they're all about, not just what we want to take,
Yeah. So let's talk about what a visit to Animal Tracks would look like for a family. It's Friday. We're coming up on the weekend, and that might be a fun thing to do. We mentioned all the other great things in the quaint little town of Agua Dulce that families can do. Stomp around Vasquez Rocks, which is just around the corner. You got some beautiful world-class wineries just over the hill there. It's really great restaurants there in town. So if a family decides, yeah, that's the Saturday that we want to plan, what does a visit to Animal Tracks look like?
Well, the very first thing we're going to do is take you back 57 million years in time.
Oh, goodness gracious.
That's all.
And we're going to go to Africa to a small dog-like creature that became all of the equines of today. And we're going to let you fall in love with some donkeys and some horses. And then we're going to take you to the wolf pack. And we're going to talk about a donkey is a good choice. Unless you live in an apartment, then it's just a lot of poop to carry downstairs.
Right.
So
Okay.
weigh out your options. And then we're going to go up and we're going to go to the rainforest. We're going to go to Argentina. We're going to go to Africa. We're going to go to Asia. We're going to take you all around the world. And you're going to see these animals without barriers. That's why you have to come at a specific time. We're not a place you can walk around. Everybody wants to know about touching. We do allow things that are safe. You get to touch the donkeys. You get to feed the wolves, but not by hand feeding. We have a safe area where there's a little distance between you and the wolf. We do everything in mind for your safety and theirs. That is enjoyable and it is inspiring. You're going to touch porcupine quills. You're going to smell things. We've got music. We want to inspire you without putting you in danger.
Okay. Okay, cool. So you mentioned that there's certain times that people should come. Do folks need to make reservations, get tickets in advance?
I'm so glad you said that. Everybody goes to Google and to Yelp, which is got poor information. Doesn't give you all the information. So you want to go to the Animal Tracks website, www.animaltracksinc.org, and there you will see all of the different things we offer. And if you hit the Book Now button, it will take you to a calendar. That calendar has green dates. If it's green, it's available. And you scroll below the calendar, that would tell you all the information you need to know about your visit.
Okay, fantastic. So it's www.animaltracksinc.org and folks
And
can
that's
plan their visits there.
TRACKS.
Okay, yeah, we'd get lazy and spell it with an X. No. Animaltracksinc.org. Danyelle Sanders and Stacy Gunderson with Animal Tracks Immersive Animal Sanctuary join us this morning. And I mentioned my annoying brother, Big T. He's texting in with advice, reminding our listeners that a smart monkey never monkeys with another monkey's monkey. I'm Matt Watson, and this is SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley, and you're listening to your hometown station, KHTS. Welcome back. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is Matt Watson. You are listening to SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley. I'm talking this morning with Danyelle Sanders and Stacy Gunderson with Animal Tracks Immersive Animal Sanctuary. And I thought they were coming here to promote this gala fundraising event that they've got coming up, which they do, and it looks absolutely amazing. But over the commercial break, ladies, you just keep telling me, no, we want to talk about the center. We want to continue to invite people to come to the center. We talked before the break about how, while it is immersive, you've got animals that are friendly to petting and other animals that we need to keep a distance from, which is just good animal sense, right? That's not animals are want you putting your hands all over them, and some of them are pretty dangerous, and we need to keep our distance.
Yeah, even domesticated dogs, or animals, you can't just walk up and pet any pet, right? It's always good etiquette to ask the owner first.
Sure.
Are we safe? Are we good?
Yeah.
Stacy is a wonderful, I don't want to call you an owner, but I'll say, landlord. You're a fantastic landlord with all of your residents.
Thank you.
And she truly does know what they want, what they need, and also wants to educate everybody else. So, because how often do you get to see a monkey or a wolf or a kangaroo up
Every
close?
day.
You guys have kangaroos too?
Yes.
Every day. Now she's just bragging.
Yeah, she does. They just recently wrapped up of something that I feel like should be on everybody's bucket list: kangaroo yoga. Yeah, move over goats. Okay.
So, like, you're doing yoga with kangaroos bouncing up and down on
They're
you?
on your back. No, I'm just kidding. They're not on your back. But no.
Because I've seen those guys in videos. They can fight.
They can, but not ours. Well, maybe. But they like yoga. And so
like yoga.
while you're out there stretching, they're hopping around, stretching too. And yes, you can pet a kangaroo.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it has to be the animal's choice. So that's the big thing with exotic animals. Domestication is the dumbing down of an animal to accept humans to be invasive, and a non-domesticated animal doesn't want your input or your touch unless they ask for it.
Gotcha. So, like with everything else, you got to get consent.
Yeah, and you got to put in the time too. You can't just come up and go, "Hey, you're gonna love me."
Okay.
The animal has to decide that you're okay.
Wow. This is some fantastic relationship advice, too.
We're a psychological healing center for these animals.
There we go. Wow. You guys are amazing. And So you were mentioning also about volunteer opportunities, because it's one thing, yeah, take the kids, take the grandkids up there for a day, but, you're going to fall in love with these critters and want to spend more time with them. How do folks get involved in volunteering?
Oh my goodness, volunteers make the world go round. I would love right now to commend every single volunteer that has ever gone to Animal Tracks. We couldn't do what we do without them. We become family. It's a special kind of person that can give their heart and soul to an animal in need. And I believe it's as healing for the volunteers as it is for the animals. So, yes, if you're a retiree, we love retirees. Come and hang out at Animal Tracks. We need kitchen help. We need gardeners. We need people who are good at welding or fixing things. We will give retirees a wonderful home.
Well, yeah, and gosh, just a fun experience and a great way to give back and get involved in a mission that really is helping out the all the critters of the world.
It feels good to give back.
Oh, that is wonderful. And so you show me you've got a coupon as well. So families looking to plan that magical day up there with the animals.
We understand times are tough. I mean, some people are worried about feeding their families. It's a hard time right now. So Animal Tracks 2 is struggling like everybody, but we want to help our community. So if you're listening today and you want to buy tickets, you can use a code, capital A, capital T for Animal Tracks, AT20, and that will take 20% off of all tickets.
Love that. You gave me the coupon, but there's the code. All right, AT20, capital A, capital T20. They get 20% off of all tickets. And we mentioned before, folks do need to plan their visits in advance. They can't just show up because they'll get turned away.
And you have to buy your tickets on our website.
Okay, fantastic.
And as an added bonus, we're just making this up as we go, Matthew. We're making this up as we go.
All right, let's do it.
Because I love Stacy and her group so much, and I believe in them, and I believe in the little engine that could. But I also believe in give back to the community too, a little give and get, right? So our animals at Animal Tracks are going to be giving to your animals, and here's the deal: for the next 8 weeks, we got 8 weeks left in the year. Sorry to let you all know, there's only 8 weeks left in the year.
Holy moly!
Every week, we're going to be doing a fantastic raffle giveaway for anybody who buys a ticket at Animal Tracks. So if you buy a ticket at Animal Tracks, you're automatically entered into winning this gift basket. And this gift basket is full of treats for your pets at home. Dogs, cats, the whole deal. And it's a beautiful, complete basket from our friends over at Petco. And the value of each basket is well over, I want to say it's about $100 each basket. So sign up and you might walk away with a basket for your little loved ones at home, your fur babies.
And being that it's almost Christmas time, if you don't have a pet, you can give it to your favorite pet person.
Look at that.
There you go. Okay, fantastic. So are we ready to move on and talk about this gala you've got coming up? Or is there something else about the facility that you want to talk about?
Oh, let's talk about the Wild Hearts Gala. I am so excited about this one. Now, it's being produced by Better Earth Productions, which is another family member of Animal Tracks.
We love them.
Okay.
And I'm really just kind of being a media ambassador. I'm just trying to get as many eyes and ears on this as I can. And so what we're going to be doing is, although this event is taking place outside of the city limits of Santa Clarita,
I was looking at that. It's an opportunity for our families to get out of town a little bit, break the mold. It's not being held over at the Hyatt with the chicken over there. No,
I had that last week.
Well, yeah. We have a community event there every week. Yeah,
we do. But this one, it's a little bit out of our city limits, if you will, but it's still making a huge impact right here in our own backyard. So Animal Tracks is hosting our first ever Wild Hearts Gala. And we are so excited because this celebrates the people who give a voice to the voiceless. Stacy and her whole crew. So this is not your average gala. It is a fully plant-based, eco-conscious, and deeply intentional event. And when I say deeply intentional, you will walk away with a newfound appreciation for not only what Stacy and her crew does, but just for the whole wildlife existence. You will walk away with this newfound appreciation, and guests are going to be enjoying a fabulous Asian-inspired menu, complimentary beverages, and all with sustainability in mind. So we are going as green as we possibly can. Bamboo plates and the whole nine, if you will.
I love it.
Even our centerpieces are going to be pet-friendly plants that you can take home with you so that you don't put your pets in jeopardy.
Because living compassionately, Matthew, doesn't just feel good, but it tastes good too.
I'm for that, yeah.
All right?
Definitely.
All right. And every dollar that is being raised here at this gala is going to go right back to Animal Tracks, giving all of these exotic animals a safe home and a second chance at life. So this is really our first full gala. Last year, I hosted Abracadabra, which was like a fun little magic castle night. We had some magicians come from the magic castle. We had a 3-course meal, so it was like a mini gala, if you will. This is a full-on gala. It's taking place at the Bell of Los Angeles. Now, if you have not heard of that venue, don't worry, I didn't either. But oh my goodness, it is gorgeous. It's
pretty swank,
it is so beautiful, and we are so lucky to have this venue work with us. So that is why it's out of the city limits. Is because the Bell has so graciously been kind to our group. So we're giving them back. So we're working together.
Perfect, which is I'm sure allows you to make sure that every dollar raised gets funneled right back to the animal care. So all right, so this gala event when is it? You already mentioned where it is. How do folks get tickets?
It's taking place next Friday, you guys.
Oh, next Friday.
Get it on the
coming
books.
up.
November 7th. It's coming up.
Okay.
And so if you don't have plans next Friday, now you do. And at this event, not only are we rolling out the red carpet, we have celebrity guests, we have attendees who just love the planet, but it's being hosted by a celebrity herself, Miss Sharon Carpenter of E! News and BBC
Nice.
America. And we are so excited because not only are tickets, there's 3-level tickets. There's general, there's VIP, and then there's super VIP.
Super VIP.
Super VIP.
When VIP isn't enough.
That's when VIPs have superpowers.
Oh, okay.
See,
All right.
I like that.
So what do I get for my super VIP ticket?
Oh, a lot of swag, my friend, and as well as tour tickets back to Animal Tracks. So,
Okay.
I mean, when you're buying a ticket to this gala, you could actually be buying tickets to come take a tour as well. So it's a give situation, a win-win-win, and we're so very excited to be partnering with the Bell of Los Angeles, to be working with Sharon Carpenter and Better Earth Productions.
Okay, so you mentioned Sharon Carpenter is hosting the event. You have other celebrities coming. Can you drop any names, or is that going to be a surprise?
I could, but I think
But
I'm
not
going to
gonna.
leave you in
All right.
anticipation.
All
Big,
right.
big names.
Okay, so so it's not just a gala, come in, enjoy dinner and a presentation and leave your money, which would be enough, but you've got a lot of activities going on. Tell us about some of the activities happening at the gala.
We have several different performances that are all going to be so beautifully inspired for what the animal world is. I'm just going to say we're going into the jungle, okay?
Okay.
Our own spirit animals are coming out, and so we have performances. We have a beautiful tribute to Jane Goodall, who the crew got to meet.
Yeah, Jane Goodall is why I grew up to do what I do, and she's inspired so many. And so
Yes, she
we
has.
hope to continue to inspire in her name.
Yeah, we just lost her recently.
We did.
So wow, oh, that's awesome that you're honoring her. You're going to be including a tribute. Fantastic. So sounds like a ton of fun. So it's a gala event. So this is black tie, formal event.
I mean, yeah, sure. You could wear a ball gown if you want to,
Okay.
Matthew. I mean, I wouldn't say no to that.
Well,
But
I can rock a ball gown.
I bet
tell
you
I
could.
can.
I'd like to see that.
We
Yes, you would.
our colors are green, right? Because we were going
Okay,
green. So
yeah.
if you want to stick in the green theme, that's great. If you want to go animal print, come on, let's see it. Get
yeah.
wild. Yes, it's a gala, so yes, dress nice, but it's not a stuffy black tie situation. We can get wild. We can have fun.
Absolutely. You know what? I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure that my buddy John Light has got a leopard print tuxedo. That would just be perfect
Oh, that
for
would
the
be
event.
perfect. Or if
Fantastic.
Jason Momoa showed up in a Tarzan loincloth, that would make the day for me.
So if somebody knows Jason, just put
Okay.
it out there.
And once again, we are sponsored by TK through 12th grade schools, SCVi, and iLead
Moms
schools.
get it.
We've pushed that envelope, all of us have this morning a little bit. This is so much fun. Okay, so you mentioned volunteering. We've mentioned the gala now. Are there other ways that folks can get involved with Animal Tracks?
Yeah, one of the biggest things we need right now is we need kitchen help. So if you're into nutrition, we have a very complex, we have 70 animals, we have 26 different species. And so we're looking for people who are really into nutrition to give our animals the best possible food. We're looking for gardeners. So we're looking for people who do construction. And so the average person who comes to be a zookeeper would spend 8 hours a day with us. But if you can do some of these other things, you can just pop in for an hour or two and help out. So we're really flexible.
We've got a show contributor who goes by the moniker Grow Bro, who would be perfect. He's a world-class gardener. That
We would
be
love to meet
great
Grow
up
Bro.
there. Oh my gosh! So I was prepping for the show. It was late last night because Frogger keeps a tight schedule, and I saw what I thought your website said you have adoptions, and I thought, Whoa, Frogger can take home a lemur or a spotted leopard from animal. It's
You don't want to do that.
one letter off.
Yes.
It's edoptions. You do
Yes.
edoptions. So tell us what an edoption is.
So the adoption, because it's an exotic animal, we have to have 10,000 hours proof that we've worked with these animals, and we are permitted by the state of California and USDA. It's very, very, very strict. So we can't let you take a kangaroo home, but you can help us support them throughout the year. It's very, very expensive. We have the monkey from Pirates of the Caribbean, Tara from back in the Black Pearl. She's retired with us, and she has lymphoma. So we have animals that require special veterinarian care, which gets very expensive. We also have high electric bills because we have to keep these animals warm at night. So electricity just went up 13%. So when you sponsor an animal, helps keep them warm, helps keeps them fed and vetted.
Wow, there's a lot that goes into this.
So much.
Yeah. Okay. Gosh.
And your mind just got blown. I can see it. I can see it.
It really did.
Yeah, you think about like your animals at home and taking them to the vet. That's always expensive. That's always pricey, and it's always like, imagine taking a monkey to the vet. It is not cheap. Or
Right.
a lemur, or a wolf, or a kangaroo. The cost of doing business at Animal Tracks is not cheap, but why we do it is for the love of these animals and also for the love of our fellow man to end this madness of what we're doing to these animals.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So once again, you want folks to come out and yes, see the animals, have a magical time, but get educated, right? So that they can now become allies and advocates themselves. And then you've also got the gala. So I just kind of want to reset everything. Folks can come visit Animal Tracks, but don't just show up, right?
Right?
You got to get tickets. And one more time, you get tickets online. How?
You go to our website at www.animaltracksinc.org.
animaltracksinc.org. They can get tickets. You need to plan your event ahead of time, but you know what? It'll be great. You show up at Animal Tracks in the morning with the kids. They'll have a wonderful time. You pop into Agua Dulce for a great lunch, and then the kids, they're going to start kind of petering out a little bit, and that's when you keep on moving and you head over to one of the wineries here in town, and it's mom and dad time, and then it'll be a great day for the whole family.
That sounds like a great plan.
Right?
Yeah.
But speaking of plans, folks got to plan next Friday night. Got to do it now because Friday night is it now an annual gala?
We're hoping to make it an annual gala. Tickets, they're not sold out yet, but they're very close to being sold out. So definitely buy them now. Get them now. Get them now. And if you can't get into the gala, if we sold out, sorry, but there was always next year. But you always can come to Animal Tracks anytime.
You know what? And it's Halloween today. We don't think of Halloween as a gift-giving holiday, but how about a nice little trick-or-treat for your sweet someone? You get online, get tickets today for the gala, and get it. There's a card for everything. There's a Happy Tuesday card over at the card shop.
Yeah.
Throw your tickets to the gala in a card, hand it to your sweet someone, and say, guess what? We're going on a special event next Friday night. Keep it a surprise or let them know what they're in for.
I think that's a fantastic idea, Matthew.
Fantastic. You can visit Animal Tracks, or you can get tickets for the gala one more time at their website, animaltracksinc.org. Danyelle Sanders, Stacy Gunderson, Animal Tracks Immersive Animal Sanctuary. One more time, animaltracksinc.org. Ladies, thank you so much for joining me this morning. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
May I add one more thing?
Of course.
We have a grant that if you are a Title I school, a home school, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, give us a call at Animal Tracks. We can do a free presentation for you.
Okay, one more time. That's several different schools. So a Title I school, which
Title I.
folks that don't know, that's kind of the economic, the free lunch rates kind of school.
Government assistance.
So they can get free visits?
Yes.
Or what other kind of schools?
Home schools.
Home schools.
Boy
So
Scouts.
iLead Exploration. I'm looking at
Yes.
you.
Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, we want to educate, and the Gluck Foundation, lovely people, are helping us do so.
I see where you're going. You're educating that next generation to take care of those animals for us when, the three of us are old and need to be taking care of ourselves.
And the way to do that would be to call us at Animal Tracks. Go to the website,
pick
get
up
our
the phone
phone number, give us a call.
Okay, fantastic. All right, so iLead Exploration. Pick up the phone, call them at Animal Tracks, and they're going to do a great program for you for free. One more time, animaltracksinc.org. Get tickets for their gala. It is next Friday night, November, 7th?
7th, yep.
November 7th. It's going to be an amazing event. Or schedule your family's trip out to Animal Tracks again, animaltracksinc.org. We got to take a quick break, but stick around. When we get back, We're going to be talking Dodgers baseball. I am Matt Watson. You're listening to SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley on your hometown station, KHTS. I am your host, Matt Watson, and you are listening to SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley. Just had an amazing visit with Danyelle Sanders and Stacy Gunderson with Animal Tracks. Did you realize we had an immersive animal sanctuary just up the road in Agua Dulce? It's called Animal Tracks, and, today is Halloween, and they started the interview by telling, kind of a spooky story about how, if you adopt a monkey, that monkey's going to be cute and adorable, and you're going to diaper it, and you're going to hand feed it, and it's going to be sweet, and it'll sleep with you in bed until it turns 3, and then it's going to rip your face off. Oh my gosh. It was a little bit spooky, but yeah, basically their message was, look, these are wild animals for a reason. You don't want them in your house. You go get a border collie or a nice little kitty cat or a little turtle for an aquarium over down there at the shelter, but you don't want to be adopting lemurs and wolves and things like that. But yeah, they've got amazing things going on at Animal Tracks. You can visit their animal sanctuary. You need to get tickets first, right? Because they book in advance, so you get tickets online at animaltracksinc.org. They've also got a gala coming up on November 7th. That's next Friday for those of you keeping score at home. So you'll want to get those tickets here pretty soon because they're almost sold out. It's going to be an amazing event supporting the animals there at Animal Tracks. And what a lot of fun those ladies were. So, are you following the World Series? I mean, I feel like even the least casual of sports fans gets dialed in during the World Series, even when your fabulous world champion Los Angeles Dodgers aren't in the World Series, but they are. But, we had a great team at the beginning of the year, and it turned out to be a good team, and then we got to the playoffs, and like Cesar Serrano from Major League would say, the bats went cansados. And we stopped, one of the best hitting baseball teams in the game stopped hitting. And they started relying on their pitchers. That's not our game, Dodgers. And so now our backs are up against the wall. For those of you that are following along, the Dodgers are in the World Series. It's a best-of-7 series, and we are currently down 3-2, which means if we lose tonight, it's over. We lose. Good day, sir. And, we've got to win the next 2 games in order to repeat as world champions. And I say we because this is Los Angeles, right? We're all Dodger fans here, aren't we? Aren't we? Because the Dodgers are getting a lot of hate around the country. They're saying that we tried to buy a World Series. But you know what? If you're looking at the way the Blue Jays are pushing us, the Blue Jays from Toronto, we didn't buy anything. This is as competitive a World Series as we've seen in a long time, and again, our pitching has been rough. We're heading back to Toronto for the final 2 games of the season, win or lose. The season's going to end there in Toronto, which brings up an interesting fun fact. Did you know that this will be the first Major League Baseball season ever, and we've been going for like 150 years, the first one ever that started and ended outside of the United States? That's right. First game of the series, remember, was in Tokyo, Japan, with the Dodgers playing the Cubs. And the last game of the season is going to be the Dodgers playing the Toronto Blue Jays up in Toronto, Canada. So, yeah, first time they will begin and end outside of the United States. We've got Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Yes, say that 10 times fast. Yoshinobu Yamamoto. We like to call him Yama. He's pitching for us tonight, and he has been phenomenal. The last 2 games he pitched, he did something almost unheard of in nowadays game. Pitched a complete game 2 times in a row. I believe he can do it again tonight. And so we got him on the bump for us tonight. And so you got to like our chances tonight in Game 6. But remember, backs up against the wall. If the Dodgers win tonight, let's switch that up again a little bit. When the Dodgers win tonight, we are going to then have to go to a Game 7 where we're going to, just leave everything out on the field. So put your, I'm sure you got your Halloween costume on this morning, but as soon as the kids' parade's over and things like that, you know what, let the kids go trick-or-treating tonight. Costume or not, I need you to don some Dodger blue. So if you're throwing your T-shirt on over your Frankenstein costume, or if you're putting your hat on instead of your Buzz Lightyear helmet, you got to support the Dodgers. Let's do it tonight, Los Angeles. Let's beat those Blue Jays and extend that series. Go Dodgers. I'm Matt Watson. You're listening to SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley. We'll be right back on your hometown station, KHTS. Welcome back. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. I am Matt Watson, and you are listening to SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley. And for those of you watching us on Facebook Live, you will notice that I've got my headphones on, but I cocked them backwards because this Dodger hat is not coming off. Dodgers are going to do it tonight. Game 6 up in Toronto. It is do or die tonight for the Dodgers, so let's get after it. But I've got my headphones on because my next guest is joining us on the phone. She is the absolutely dynamic college counselor, Laura Kazan, who works for our home study program I mentioned earlier in the show, iLead Exploration. As a matter of fact, just a couple of breaks ago, we learned that homeschoolers like kids from iLead Exploration get free visits at Animal Tracks Animal Sanctuary. So that's exciting. Hopefully Laura and her colleagues can set up a field trip to Animal Tracks soon, because she does work for iLead Exploration. She hails from Albuquerque, New Mexico. She started her career in education as an English teacher in Istanbul, of course. Where else? She herself is a parent who homeschooled her son. She is passionate about providing access to all students and is fulfilled by providing college access points to homeschooling families. Laura, welcome back to Eye on the Valley.
Thank you. Happy to be back. And you remembered everything.
Yes, I remember the last time you were on, and it has been too long since you've been on the show. We love when you join us. We love hearing about the amazing things that you're helping our kids gain access to. So since the last time you joined us here at Eye on the Valley, it's been a minute. So why don't we start by reminding our listeners how you came to iLead, what your role is at iLead Exploration, what drew us to your organization. I mentioned you've got kind of a unique path in your career.
Yeah, I've done some really fun stuff, including starting a teaching career in Istanbul, where I followed a boy who turned into my husband, and we lived happily ever after. And then, I ended up homeschooling my son with a charter school, and that's how I came into this whole community. And I had been getting my PhD in education, and I was really interested in admissions, and I kind of was in this homeschool community and learning all the things, and iLead approached me. I'd been working privately with students and with families and doing workshops, and they kind of waved health insurance in front of me and said, hey, sure you don't want to come to our school? We have health insurance and really great people to work with. And so I don't know how to say this nicely. They were one of the good ones. I don't want to get in trouble with any of the other ones, but iLead in my head was always one of the really good ethical charters. And so I jumped on it. I was so happy to be kind of recruited, and I've been here. I'm going on my 7th year, and I absolutely love it.
Yeah, gosh. Laura, you and I are about 40 seconds into our interview, and you and I both have already stepped into it a little bit. But you're absolutely right. There have been some headlines recently about some charters doing some naughty things. I do think it's interesting because the rest of us in the charter movement were a little bit embarrassed by what our colleagues in other schools were doing, and we stepped up and proposed legislation this year that would really bring audit requirements and greater levels of accountability like we've never seen in the charter sector, and the governor went and vetoed it. So
it was vetoed.
I don't know what's up with that.
I don't know.
And the other way that we've stepped in it is we keep saying homeschool, and I'm worried that the boss is going to get a little bit mad at us, Laura, because I constantly refer to iLead Exploration, the program you work for, as a homeschool, and the boss reminds me, Matt, it is not a homeschool. Well, Exploration is an independent study program. Can you help explain to me, because I keep doing it, and to our audience, what the difference between a homeschool and an independent study program is?
Well, it's interesting because California doesn't officially have anything called homeschool. You have a public option and a private option. And so iLead is an independent study, WASC-accredited school. It's just not in a building. And so our students will actually call themselves homeschoolers, like in their college applications, and I have to remind them, remember, you're independent study, because we actually have teachers, we have counselors, we do all the things that schools do. We just don't do it in a building, giving our kids all kinds of flexibility. But in California, we also have a private option, and that is where a parent can create their own school. It's legally, they create a school. They are the director. They create the paperwork and the diplomas. These options, I think they make us pretty unique in the country. But I love the idea of being able, when I had my own son homeschooling, and notice I said homeschooling and he was with a charter, but I liked having him in an actual school. It gave him, I think, quite a few advantages with college applications. It was just easier. He didn't have to do testing, all kinds of stuff. So, yeah, public-private option. We are a public WASC-accredited school giving a public option for learning at home in an independent study manner.
Yeah, and you mentioned WASC approved. That's the Western Association of Schools and Colleges. They are an organization of educators with literally thousands of years of experience who come and analyze and audit our schools on a regular basis and make sure that that we're doing things not only on the up and up, but doing things well for our students. But Laura, you mentioned those kind of two options for a family that thinks, might like to homeschool my kid. There's the public charter school route, and then there's the what's called a PSA, a public school affidavit, or a private school affidavit, where families do it on their own. And that sounds kind of freeing, kind of exciting. So what are the benefits of enrolling your child in an independent study charter school versus homeschooling on your own?
So remember, I come through everything through a high school lens. So I don't work with the K-8 family, so everything to me is coming from that lens.
Good disclaimer.
And there are some real advantages and disadvantages both ways. Yes, it's freeing. You're also on your own. I think one of the things I tell people immediately when they're considering homeschooling is if there's a chance that the student may head back to traditional school, one of the things, because of our WASC accreditation, you can move seamlessly between schools without having to start over, because a lot of times folks that file a PSA, they don't have classes from an accredited organization and the schools don't accept their credit. So you want to go back to high school, you're really stuck. But when you're with us, our classes are seamless. They go back and forth. So kids who need to try it, maybe students who need a year out of school because of health reasons, medical reasons, they don't take any risks of not being able to continue on later. So that's a huge one. That's a really big one. Also coming through the lens of doing college, because I'm, of course, the college advisor, college and career advisor at iLead, is we do all the work for the student to get into college. So to clarify that, when you file a PSA, the parent is the counselor. The parent has to do all the applications. I actually work independently with parents filing a PSA because I kind of see both ends, and it's a whole lot of stress. And we have counselors. The counselor's writing the counselor letter. The counselor's guiding the students through. The kids get it for free. And one of the things I really love is, with iLead, we have a wide variety, a very diverse population financially. And I get to help those kids that couldn't afford help. And I get to help those kids that could, but, they come to me anyway. And so there's just so many advantages. Another one is sometimes traditional homeschoolers, PSA students, have to jump through extra hoops when they apply to college. So with COVID, it calmed down, but I think it's coming back, like extra tests or needing SAT scores or things like that, when a student from a traditional school is seen as a traditional school student in the eyes of the admission officer. And so there's extra hoops that a student may not have to jump through. An example, there's a school in Oregon, and a parent contacted me. They were a PSA parent, and the student wasn't being allowed in because she didn't have an SAT score, even though she had so many credits of community college. They didn't care. And the student didn't want to take it, but our students would have just waltzed in. And so there are many advantages. And I really, I'm part of that homeschool community in Southern California, and I don't disparage either option. I think you pick the one that works best for your family, and I think ours is an exceptional option.
It's interesting. So there's all these different things. Filing a private school affidavit. You're on your own. You're doing everything. You are, like you said, teacher, principal, counselor, psychologist, everything. Versus getting a credentialed teacher to support you for free. Having a great college advisor like you are, Laura, for free, getting all the supports and services for free, because again, we are a free public school, and you're still able to get that home study experience through our independent study model. Not to mention, it's tougher to get into college if you're doing it on your own. You get free services if you're doing it with us. Laura, you've got a lot of services. I want to drill down on the type of college guidance that you're giving our kids, but let's talk a little bit more overarching first. You are an expert in the high school at iLead Exploration. That's our independent study, our home study model, but there are tons of options. It's not just kids at home working in a silo on their curriculum. Can you tell us a little bit about maybe Engage Live or Flex?
I think it's interesting because when people think about a homeschool independent study, regardless of how we do it, they think of like mom on one side, kid on the other side with a bunch of books in between them. And that can't be further from the truth. We have so many options at iLead specifically. You mentioned our Engage program that we are going, I think, to our third year. We did a pilot, and then we're just building on more and more classes.
Yep.
And this is a program where you're still with the home study program, but you have iLead subject expert teachers having live classes through Zoom. And so you have the option to actually do things with peers, and you're guided by a teacher. And we have it at levels of just regular level. You can have an honors level. For those students that need more flexibility, we do have a completely asynchronous option. I think it's the same teachers. You're doing similar assignments, but you don't have that twice a week meeting where you get to really interact with your peers and your teacher. We also go way beyond. I mean, the goal, I think, of schools like ours, especially iLead, is that we try to really match the needs of the child to their, learning methods. There are students that learn in different ways, and there are students that have different needs. Sometimes a student can use a community college if they need very advanced classes, learning centers, things like that. I love our Engage program, though. I think because I see the students, I'm actually part of it. I teach a class, too.
Cool.
For juniors. And so I was the very first Engage class. I was the test. I was the one throwing the spaghetti against the wall to see what would stick. And they loved the interaction.
Yeah.
And that's what became really, really clear, was the students were craving their peers. And so when we started adding all the general courses and now electives, we've got art teachers, we've got everything, they started seeing each other throughout classes just as they would in a traditional high school, but they were doing it through Zoom. And so they get to know each other. They show up in the different classes, and they're used to working together. And it's been kind of fascinating to watch, but also really kind of enjoyable to see these kids get so excited to see each other in their different classes and have almost a normal experience, yet they're still at home. And so it's turned out really well. The program, our Engage program, has turned out fantastic. And I don't know other schools that are at that level that we are with their live classes. So I'm pretty excited about being part of that group and that forefronter with our program.
You should. Like you said, our kids really love those classes. And what I love is watching the conversation where we have a kid who will tell an adult, maybe it's the neighbor down the street or their aunt or uncle, and one of our students will say, oh yeah, I'm homeschooled. And then in the very same conversation, they'll say, oh yeah, there's a friend of mine in my chemistry class who does this and that. And they say, wait, I thought you were homeschooled. I am. Well, then how do you have a friend in your chemistry class? Well, it's not your typical, right? It's not what you're thinking of. So now I want to throw you a little bit of a trick question before we move into all the things that you do with college guidance. I get phone calls all the time, and when I start talking about iLead Exploration, our independent study, home study model, families will often tell me, yeah, but I don't think that'll work for me. My daughter is on an IEP. They have special education services that they need to receive, so that wouldn't work for us. Can you explain, Laura, why that's a trick question?
Is it a trick question? Because that was my experience coming into that. I don't know. I don't even know if you know that I have a kid on an IEP.
I did not know that. So if your kid's on an IEP, can they participate in our home study program?
Oh, let me tell you how that works, because I pulled my kid out of school because of things going haywire with special education and came into an independent study charter. iLead was brand new at the time, so it was a different one, but it was the same concept. I can't tell you how much better it got. I can't tell you how much the services improved once we were with the charter school. There was significantly more care. I think after my first IEP meeting with the charter, I cried with relief because I actually felt for the first time that the special ed department cared about my child and wanted to see him succeed. You had no idea when you were asking me that question.
No, I did not.
I'm actually an IEP parent. Yeah. You have, I mean, and every service that he had with the school was increased when he got to the charter system.
Oh, wow.
Everything was more tailored. There was tons more one-on-one work. I cannot say enough about how the charter school system saved us. Like, I can't say enough about that. So yes, absolutely.
Well, what a heartwarming story. I'm so glad to hear that. That is something that I did not know about you and your family. But yeah, I often tell families when they say that to me, not only are we required to offer all of the special education services that your child needs because we are a public school, and just like any other public school, we're required to provide those services. But as you just bore testimony to, Laura, we do it well. We do it really well. So well that not only during the pandemic did LA Unified and other school districts come to us at iLead and say, how are you doing special education in this environment? We can't figure it out. They were looking to us for support. But I was talking not too long ago to a learner and his family who this child was medically fragile. He's autistic, nonverbal. So the child doesn't speak. He communicates through a text-to-speech device. And he was acing his poetry class in our live classes. His classmates could not wait to hear the poems that he was writing and reciting with his... It was just absolutely amazing watching this child who medically cannot leave his house, interacting with other students in his classroom and just having an amazing experience, getting an amazing education. Speaking of amazing educations, Laura, you are helping kids through iLead Exploration go on to that next step, and we're talking about post-secondary, we're talking about college, university. As the college advisor, I want to get into all the services you're providing for your kids, but I want to take a quick break so that we have plenty of time to lay it all out, all right? So stick around. Laura Kazan, college advisor extraordinaire. She's helping kids get into that perfect fit school for them and launching them into the rest of their lives. And believe it or not, she's just one example of our amazing college counselors that you'll find at every one of our iLead schools. More with Laura when we get back. I'm Matt Watson. This is SCVi and iLead Schools Eye on the Valley. You're listening to your hometown station, KHTS. I love that KHTS is the only station you listen to, because that means you're getting your weekly dose of Eye on the Valley right here on KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. I am Matt Watson, and you are listening to SCVi and iLead Schools Eye on the Valley. That's right. We keep our eye on the valley. We are iLead Schools. Get it? Yeah. Check us out at iLeadschools.org. We have got whatever your child's need is. We have got a free public charter school that can provide for your kid's needs. Well, Matt, my kid needs to be dropped off at school 8 to 3, Monday through Friday. We've got that campus for you. Well, Matt, you know what? My kid needs to be online because they've got to be doing stuff, but I can't be their teacher. We've got iLead Online for you. Matt, I think I'm a homeschooling family. Well, we've got iLead Exploration for you. It's not a homeschool. If you missed us discussing why it's not a homeschool, check out the podcast at hometownstation.com. But Laura Kazan is our college advisor for our home study program. It's independent study. Like Laura said, most of our families consider themselves homeschool families, but they're doing it through iLead Exploration. Laura, thanks so much for joining us again this morning. We talked all about the amazing things that iLead Exploration offers kids. You mentioned it's not kid on one side of the table, mom on the other side with a bunch of books in between. It's a highly dynamic, interactive program. In fact, I saw where not too long ago Your seniors set up an In-N-Out night. They were hanging out at In-N-Out Burger, even though they think they're homeschool families. So let's talk about your area of expertise, Laura. College counseling. Can you tell us a little bit about your approach to college planning with your students, and especially your high schoolers, through iLead Exploration?
So I kind of came into iLead after doing some independent stuff. Like, you can go and you can hire a counselor for $300 an hour, and they'll charge you a good $10,000 package. And I was dabbling in that. I didn't really like it. But I came into iLead with the same structure in my head. And so I work one-on-one, just like an independent, expensive counselor would. I have all these appointments. The kids sign up. They show up. We work on anything they need to work on, whether it's the planning of their high school and how best to get themselves into the college of their choice, or when they start hitting that spring of junior year, we start working on applications, and I work on the essays with them, work on helping them figure out their extracurriculars. So this is one of the things I really like about working with iLead, is they're allowing me to be like an expensive consultant, and they're paying me for it, and all the kids get that advantage, but it's all free. And so I really get to work one-on-one. And I don't think you get that from public schools anywhere, especially not in California, where it's like a 1,000 to 1. So that was just something that iLead decided was important to them. And they created this position where I get to be like an independent counselor, but for free. That's how I do it.
Laura, we like to say that iLead offers the private school experience at a public school price, but you're going beyond that, aren't you? So I got to tell you, you're kind of letting us off the hook a little bit, because for several years now, since I've known you, I've had this quiet conversation that we've been having behind your back, Laura. Honestly, behind your back, because a lot of us have been saying, shh, we can't let Laura know that she can charge people $300 an hour and do this on her own, because then we'd lose her. But you already know that. But,
oh, yeah, I already know that.
But you prefer working for our public charter school and doing this for just, your regular public charter school salary, but giving that $10,000 college entrance experience to kids completely for free. So we appreciate that. I'm glad that the cat's out of the bag and you're staying anyways. So,
well, I want to say, though, that one of the reasons I like doing it is I feel that college entry should be equitable, and that it shouldn't matter whether you can afford a counselor or not. And so we have kids at every range of the income spectrum, and I like that I'm allowed to be that independent counselor for a student that can't afford it. And that's why I do it when I can charge $300 an hour outside. I just want to see those kids go to college, and I'm happy to get paid in health insurance while I do it. So, and they let me do it. So I'm happy about it.
Yeah, and so are we, and we and our families are so blessed that you do it, because you're right. College, especially finding that perfect fit college, shouldn't just be for the families that have an extra $10,000 laying around. So let's talk about some deadlines, because senior year and even junior year ramps up really quickly when we come to college applications, college admissions. There are deadlines coming up for students applying to college. What should they be focused on right now as we're into October, November of their junior or senior year?
Well, it is October 31st.
It is.
Well, that for most people in the world is Halloween. For many of our seniors, it is the night before the very first deadline. That's tomorrow. Tomorrow is early action, early decision, first time round. There's another one coming on the 15th. And then the UCs, their deadlines, the UCs and CSUs, are coming December 1st. And then it's just like a train going through. Regular decisions are coming, all kinds of deadlines. It's scattered. But that's one of the issues, and that's what's so confusing, is to understand the different deadlines, how you apply to them. But the first one, don't panic if you're listening to this and you're like, I didn't know the first one was tomorrow. It's okay. It's an early deadline. Okay. But the first one is tomorrow. So chaos is ensuing right now. I got lots of stressed out learners. Another deadline that's really, really important is the FAFSA, free application for federal student aid. And that is a form that students fill out, especially to get Cal grants and California aid and federal aid. That's open. And rumor has it that it's working really, really well.
Oh, good.
I'm being told they're going in. It's taking 10 minutes. They're coming out. They're getting their information. So the FAFSA is open. It's really important that everyone fill that out. That FAFSA goes to different schools, and it goes to the state for state aid as well. And so, the early action deadline and early decision deadlines are upon us this month. But UC, CSU, where so many of our kids apply, December 1st. That's right after Thanksgiving break.
All righty. So, coming up. And, Laura, you are right, and I can confirm that. I've actually filled out FAFSA a couple times for my kid now. He actually left and is now going back to college. So I filled out his FAFSA originally about 5 years ago, filled it out again just about 6 months ago, and it is radically different. It is so much easier now. It's a piece of cake. So I can confirm that. So, what about, I'm thinking about, I've got a friend who's got a 10th grader right now, and I know a couple of other freshmen and 8th graders. When should parents start college planning?
So sometimes I'll get 3rd graders in there, and I'll say, now's not the time. And I'll get 8th graders, and I'll be like, it's good to think about it, get that, discussion when you go to college, when you start saying things like, well, when you go to college, to kind of,
okay.
But I really like, I think 10th grade may be the earliest that I start talking to a student if they're open to it. But 11th grade is when you really have to kind of step on it. And so that 10th grade, if you've got a student that's eager, start the conversations. If you have a student that is kind of hesitant, I would definitely be ramping that up a little in 11th grade, because by the time senior year comes, if you're just trying to, and I have students like this that didn't think of it until now, and it's tough to catch up. You can. So, eager students in 10th grade, hesitant students in 11th grade, and everyone should be on top of it by second semester of 11th grade.
Okay, so you really need to be going after it junior year, senior year, of course, but start thinking about it 10th grade. Okay, cool. So you talk about the interactions with your kids and you're meeting with them, but, remembering that you're a home study program, what does it look like? What kind of learning opportunities do you provide for families for college planning?
So I'm making sure I understand your question. Are you asking if we supply the rigorous classes and the different options a student has?
Well, sure, you can go into that, but I was referring to, how is it that because you don't have an office that your students are walking into, right? So how is it that you provide services, whether it's through webinars for college, financial planning?
Okay. Yeah. I see where we're going. Yeah, I've got a Zoom room. It's my office. It's just, comfortable and in my house. And so I have a calendar. The kids pop in and I just chat all day long with them. So they don't need to go through a secretary or come through an office or even take time out of class, because of course it's a home study program. And they come at their convenience throughout the week and talk to me whenever they need to. We also have, I do a series, a webinar series called the College Information Series, and I think I'm in my 4th or 5th year of it, so I'm kind of doing the same topics over and over again, but that's okay because I get a new crop of students every year. But we try to go through all aspects of the, not just the application process. We do a walkthrough and we talk about deadlines, but we talk about holistic admissions. We talk about testing. We talk about transferring. I do case studies. And so I do that twice a month throughout the year. Learners and parents, I even get ES in there, our facilitators, our teachers who, are peeking in for their own kids. And I do that like every other Friday. And we have all kinds of stuff. But we're just here. All you have to do is make an appointment. I mean, that's how it works. Just show up and we'll go from there.
Yeah, wow. Talk about another amazing benefit for working for iLead. You get to sneak in and crash the college preparation webinar for your own kids. Fantastic. So, Laura, what kind of colleges are we talking about? Can you share maybe numbers or the types of colleges and universities that our iLead Exploration learners have been accepted to and are currently attending?
So all universities and colleges are on the table for our students. One of the concerns is that, well, if you're not in a traditional school, how are you going to get into this college? How are you going to get into that college? That is not an issue at all. So to give you an idea, we have kids right now. Like last year, we had 3 at like a 30% admission rate to USC. For some reason, NYU loves us. I don't understand it. It's supposed to be selective, but where kids are always selected. Last year, we had we get about 10 to 15 students a year applying to the UCs. And so last year, our Berkeley acceptance rate was 50%. That was 50.
Wow.
50%.
At Berkeley.
That was weird. Yeah, it was just plain weird. And every now and then we have a school that just loves us. The year before, we had like 6 out of 9 accepted to UC San Diego. It's so interesting. We had one go to Juilliard. We had 2 accepted to Cornell last year. They decided to go to Berkeley. But
Wow.
all colleges are on the table. There's nothing that's out of grasp if the student is a match for that college. I just want to say also, right now, we're in the process. We have 2 big scholarship finalists right now, QuestBridge, which is a scholarship that is a full ride to the most selective colleges for students that are low income. We have a QuestBridge finalist. I'm so excited about that. And there's another scholarship that is a full tuition scholarship called the Posse Scholarship. Have to be nominated by your school. I nominate, and we have a finalist there now, and so we should know within the month if they have one that's a full tuition, the other one's a full ride. So iLead kids, they get those too, and so yeah, we got things going on.
Yeah, we
with our
do.
College acceptance.
And as you're talking, Laura, I'm Googling because those numbers are absolutely incredible. You said that 30% of your kids are getting into USC. That's versus a 10% admissions rate nationwide. So nationwide, 10% of the kids that apply for USC are getting in. You're getting 30% of your applicants in. And then at Berkeley, 11.7% nationwide, 11.7% of the kids get in. You've got a 50% acceptance rate with your students.
It's bizarre. I mean, and it's not just, it's all the UCs. We do so well. I had a student get into UCLA a few years ago who
Go Bruins.
Contacted me and said, "Is this a mistake?" And I said, "No, it's stuff that none of my friends got in from my high school, like that I was at before. Like, is it real?" And I said, "Yes, it's real." And you have a different experience because you're with us, because you're not in a building and you're not taking the same classes as everybody else and their dog. I mean, our kids are special. They're different. They have opportunities, and it really comes across in their applications.
It really does. And you're not just talking, I mean, it's nice, right? And it sounds good when we're talking on the radio that your kids are getting into UCLA, USC, Berkeley, Cornell, all those prestigious schools. But you know what? It's not like, hey, this is the top of the line. This is the best school. You want to go there. It's about finding the right school for you. Because, I know a guy who got into Berkeley, got there and realized Berkeley wasn't for me. And he transferred to a school closer to home. It's about finding that right fit. So can you talk to us a little bit about how you help your kids find that right fit college?
Yeah, this is one of my favorite topics. And one of the things that a lot of people don't realize is we're looking at about 2,500 to 3,000 different colleges within the United States, a variety of price points, a variety of personalities, a variety of academic sort of intensity. And so one of the issues I see is students, especially coming from traditional schools, only know of a handful of schools, and they all begin with either the University of California or the California State University. And one of the things that I try to do, I work really hard at this, is to introduce a vast number of colleges and types of colleges. There are colleges that have narrative evaluations and no grades. There are colleges where you get to pick the classes that you want instead of having to go through all the usual hoops. There are teeny tiny colleges with, 500 students. There are gigantic colleges with 50, 60,000. There are colleges where they're preparing you really well for graduate school. There are colleges that are preparing you really well for nursing school.
Okay.
And I don't think that many students realize how many choices they have. And so my goal is to get them really with a combination of the best social, academic and financial fit.
Fantastic. Wow, that is so important because that leads to what is known as college viability, where not only is your kid getting in college, they're staying in college, which is the absolute end goal. So, Laura, one of the things that a lot of high schools, the traditional district high schools are catching on to, and families are getting hip to it as well, the importance of dual enrollment, the ability to attend college classes while you're still in high school. But I can imagine that's got to be pretty tough at an independent, like a home study school. Is that still a thing, dual enrollment?
Well, that is our thing. Like, it's not that, is it a thing? It's our thing. It's the thing, one of the things that I think makes us shine and our students shine, because we really encourage students of all levels to get their toes wet or dive right into concurrent enrollment. And so concurrent enrollment is when you go to, it could be a nearby face-to-face community college, or you can go online, to any community college across the state, and you get to dabble in college classes. And for some students, that might be like a trade type of class, or they're testing out more career-oriented. And so some students, they want to really do electives and things that are interesting. And for some students, it means knocking out their complete college core. So they might take most of their core classes at the community college while taking electives with us, or vice versa. And so there are many ways to access it. And I would say, I actually do the statistics. I would say about a third of our seniors are actively in a dual enrollment class right now. And we have kids as young as 7th and 8th grade doing concurrent enrollment. And so really when the time comes and the teacher and the counselor feel it's the right match, we help you figure out what the best first class is so that you don't get in over your head. And then if students that really like it can really build. We've had students get multiple AA degrees while they're students with us. Yeah, it's amazing. We had one student a few years ago who graduated from the community college as their valedictorian and graduated with us and was one of our speakers at our graduation.
Absolutely incredible. Laura, I know that there are listeners out there that are just, their minds are blown by everything that you're doing, and doing it through an independent study, a home study model. So, Laura, I know you're still accepting applications because I was talking to your boss yesterday. You guys are still enrolling students for the 2025-26 school year. So if folks are interested in making that switch today, where can they get more information about iLead Exploration's independent study, home study program?
On the website. So I guess you just go to iLeadexploration.org, and there's an enrollment button.
It's right up there in the upper right-hand corner. Check out the website. There's lots of information about what Laura and the rest of her colleagues are doing for kids. And remember, not just high school, TK through 12th grade, free public charter school home study program, iLeadExploration.org. Laura, thank you so much for all you do. Thanks for calling in. What an amazing conversation we had today. I appreciate it. Have a great weekend, Laura.
You too, Matt. Thanks.
Take care. I am Matt Watson. This is SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley. Show's about to come off the tracks. My big brother's calling in soon on your hometown station, KHTS. Welcome back. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley. I am your host, Matt Watson. Let's get right to it. We've got Big T on the phone. We've got Engineer Jen. We've got the Moco Monster. We've got Intern Ricardo here. But it is time for Big T's 5 Minutes of Fame. Y'all know Big T. Big T is an executive and philanthropist. He is an amazing father, husband, and dog dad. He is a man who changed his GPS settings to avoid responsibility. Here he is. He's Mom's favorite. Big T, welcome to the show.
Wow, Maddie, you sure talk a lot of smack for someone that tips over when you put on your underwear.
But it's the best exercise I get all day.
True that.
All right, Big T, let's jump right into it. You've got trivia questions, and we've got answers. We're going to hit our buzzers, shout out our names when we know the answer. But when our listeners know the answer, they can get the drop on us. They can just shout out the answer and see if they can beat us. Not sure if they'll be able to do it, though. We're pretty smart.
Perfect. Hey, real quick, being it's Halloween, Big T's got some recommendations. I got a Halloween costume recommendation for the fellas and for the ladies.
All right, let's do it.
Fellas, a good costume for you to dress up as today. Dress up as a boxer and go down and shadow box in the parking lot of the Domestic Violence Center.
Oh, Tony.
No.
Ooh.
Do not recommend.
Ladies, a good one for you. Dress up as the Catwoman and walk around the Halloween party knocking drinks off the table.
Okay, that's better.
That's a little bit more fun.
You saved yourself.
A little bit better. All right, we ready for some trivia?
We are, Tony. I don't know if you were listening, but we had our friend Danyelle Sanders on in the first hour, and she asked if she was going to get to play trivia today, and I told her no. She beat the crap out of me last time. That's why we had her on the first hour, not the second. Let's do it.
Yep. All righty. In the video Thriller, what was Michael Jackson eating in the movie theater?
Frogger. I think that was Jen.
Jen.
That would be popcorn.
Popcorn is correct. You know, a quick Thriller fun fact. Vincent Price, who did a little bit of a voiceover, was given the opportunity to take a lump sum payment or royalties from the record. He chose the lump sum payment.
Oh, no, Vincent.
Later said it became the greatest selling record of all time, and he got paid less than $1,000, and Michael Jackson wouldn't return his phone calls.
Oh, I wouldn't either. Oh, Vincent,
Vincent,
who's your
who?
agent?
Contract, buddy.
Fire your agent. Wow.
All right, here we go. Robbed in the last 2 weeks. What European city is the Louvre located? Andrew.
Paris.
Paris is correct. Who was the antagonist in the movie Halloween?
Jen.
Jen.
I feel bad taking this. Oogie Boogie. Oh, and the movie Halloween. Why did I think you said...
What are you talking about?
Jeez, never mind. Michael Myers. My God.
Michael Myers is correct. We'll give it to you.
I don't know what my
Took
brain's
us a
doing.
long way to get there.
Yeah.
What was that? The Oogly
I was
Woogly? The
thinking
Piggly
of
Wiggly?
Oogie Boogie.
Oh, okay. Andrew
Andrew's
is
dressed
Oogie
as
Boogie.
Oogie
You
Boogie.
can see us on
Oh, okay.
Facebook.
He's not the Moco Monster. He's something
No.
similar. He's the Oogie
yeah.
Boogie.
All that green
He's
threw me
the
off. yeah.
Kukui.
He's the Kukui. Speaking of which, do you know how to make a Kleenex dance? You put a little boogie in it.
Blow a little boogie in it. Yeah. All right. Which of the Wizard of Oz characters was seeking a brain?
Jen. That'd be me. Scarecrow.
Scarecrow is correct. Harper Lee short stories are now being published. What Harper Lee book was
Frogger.
Atticus Finch? Frogger.
To Kill a Mockingbird.
To Kill a Mockingbird.
Or as your daughter
Gilbert
knows it, How to Kill a Mockingbird.
How to Kill a Mockingbird, right. How much money does each player start with in a standard Monopoly game?
Frogger.
Frogger.
Oh, geez. It's, I'm going to go $1,220.
Incorrect.
Oh, I see what you did there. That was cute.
You were a little low.
No, Jen.
Jen.
That would be $200.
Incorrect. That's way low. Starts with. Not how much do you get when you pass go. How much do you start the game with? Andrew, you got anything?
2,000.
$1,500.
$1,500. A fun
I was
question.
like, 'cause you get the
Ooh,
one
that
for
is a
rabbit.
good one.
What color was the rabbit in Alice in Wonderland?
Jen.
Oh,
Jen.
The white rabbit.
It's a white rabbit. Hey,
chasing
this
rabbits.
past week, the NBA was hit with some gambling accusations. In poker, if you have three of a kind and a pair, what do you have?
Andrew.
Oh,
Andrew. Full house.
Full house is correct.
and Frogger, speaking of the NBA, we're hitting the buzzer on us, Tony. We got to have a quick out. Jen and Andrew tied to beat me 2-1 today. We want to thank our guests, Danyelle Sanders and Stacy Gunderson with Animal Tracks Immersive Animal Sanctuary, Laura Kazan with iLead Exploration, our free public independent home study program, producer Sarah, engineer Andrew, engineer Jen, intern Ricardo, and thank you for listening. Remember, friends, life is hard, but we're all here to help each other along. Be well, do good, have a happy Halloween, go Dodgers, and join us again next Friday and every Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. I'm Matt Watson, and you're listening to SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley on your hometown station, KHTS.